Hi, Joe Novella from Green Star Energy Solutions. We're going to be insulating this attic today, and it's a newer home. It's only about 10 years old, and I want to demonstrate an attic like this because, you know, if you go into an old attic that's 40 or 50 years old, it's very easy to see that there's no insulation, and it's easy to assume that you just need to get work done. But in a newer home where you have a lot of pink fiberglass, you might not realize that it's a relatively low performance attic floor that's not insulating the home properly. And the biggest problem is that there's no air seal. There's no way for this attic to keep the air inside the house because there are literally hundreds of holes, cracks and crevices and gaps in this floor, which is the ceiling of the second floor, that allow air to flow freely out of the house and into the attic. And in the summertime, actually, that hot air actually sinks down into the second floor, which is why the second floor is very hot in the summertime. So our crew, we have a 3-man crew here. We're going to be here all day. What we're going to spend most of the day on is prepping this attic, is actually doing the air sealing and identifying the areas that need to be properly repaired. This area right here is a drop ceiling, had no insulation in it, no air seal. We're actually air sealing the top plates of the walls right now. You can see some of the old insulation has black marks on it, which is an indication of airflow over the last 10 years. So we're carefully foam air sealing all those cracks, air sealing that cavity, replacing the fiberglass, and then we're going to re-insulate this with more loose blown insulation. There's another. We have to make sure that these recessed light fixtures are properly air sealed and are insulation contact. If they were not insulation contact, they would have to be isolated. We have another big drop ceiling over here and a bypass over there. And what we're looking for is any penetration through this floor into the attic, which includes, again, these drop ceilings, vent lines, the top plates of the walls that come up and break the air barrier from below, the numerous wiring conduits and wires that just pulled up through the attic. These heating plumbing lines are actually coming up from the basement, which allows air to flow all the way from the basement straight up into the attic. And all of the registers on the heating system that penetrate the floor. Another issue that you see frequently in newer homes are these knee walls, and that's a vertical wall. On the other side of that is conditioned space. The problem is that you only have 3.5 inches or maybe 5.5 inches of fiberglass stuffed down into that cavity. Doesn't create any air seal. Well, oftentimes you see that fiberglass starting to fall out of the wall. There's exposed sheetrock, which means you only have a 1/2 inch of sheetrock between your living space and 20-degree freezing cold air in the wintertime. So this area we're actually going to put an air barrier, high R board against that knee wall. We're going to air seal it, create a curve, and then blow the insulation on that upper platform. There's also, over here, there's also another platform that has the same problem. This is actually worse because the perimeter wall extends down into the house, which means that warm air from inside the house can go right up the interior walls and out into the attic. Once we spend most of our day here air sealing, which is the fussy part of the job, that's really what is going to allow the blanket of insulation we're going to be installing to actually work. If you come up here and just blow in 10 inches or 8 inches or 12 inches of loose blown insulation without doing all of this prep work, then that insulation really can't work. You're still going to have huge amounts of airflow coming out through the house. That being said, that blanket of insulation is actually going to help make this fiberglass bat work better because, as you can see, this fiberglass has been disturbed over the years and was probably not installed with a very high quality to begin with. There's displaced bats, there's compression, there's gaps and voids all over the place. As I walk through, you can actually see down into the sheetrock. Cold air can flow down and between the fiberglass and the sheetrock of the house. So by blowing in a loose insulation, either cellulose or an L77 reformulated fiberglass, what it's going to do is actually perfect the installation of the old fiberglass. It's going to fill
They have a rodent problem.
What?
They have a rodent problem, so we'll be using the cellulose.
Thanks for telling me that. Over here, if you could actually see right here, there's evidence of rodents, mice droppings right here. Mice like to nest in the warm area between the fiberglass and the house, and they're very comfortable in the fiberglass. So the air sealing, again, helps prevent rodents from getting in and insects. Certain insulation materials like cellulose actually will kill insects, and rodents do not like to nest in those areas. So we're solving a lot of problems. We're making the house more airtight. We're making the house more comfortable. We're improving indoor air quality. We're preventing the rodents and insects, and we're going to be making the house a lot more energy efficient. We could save 20 or 25% on heating and cooling costs by doing a really good comprehensive attic job in this newer home. This is not a very old home. We're also going to be fixing this pull-down staircase. Again, there's no insulation, there's no air seal. This is literally a big hole in the floor of the attic at the ceiling of the second floor, which is a huge area for heat loss. This ductwork actually is heating and cooling. This is fairly well insulated, not superbly insulated, but not better than bare metal. If all the ductwork was bare metal like this, then we actually would be air sealing all of that ductwork. We're still going to do some air sealing on this system, and if the ductwork is laying on the floor, we actually can insulate over that ductwork. So we see that a lot in older homes that have old ductwork in the attic. So not only can we improve the air seal of the house, improve the insulation in the attic, but we could dramatically improve the ductwork, which actually can be losing 20 to 30% of your heat can be lost through leaky ductwork in the attic. So a good attic job where you're addressing heating and cooling issues, ductwork, air sealing, the thermal bypasses, and then at the end, putting in a nice thermal boundary, a nice layer of insulation, is a great way, an easy way to make your home a lot more energy efficient, a lot more comfortable. So give Greenstar a call. We'd be glad to come out, take a look at your home, and tell you what we can do for you.